tough out here. Niggas getting old, can't remember shit.
Uh-huh. Wait, how old are you?
How old I look?
28, 29. It's the skincare routine. It's the skincare routine.
Yes, sir. Hey,
What's up, y'all? Get ready to break it down and level up. Welcome to Doing Numbers, your number one financial literacy podcast in the world. Clap it up. I'm your host, Olu.
I'm your old Scott.
So bring your pen and pad because it's about to get real.
That's right.
What's going on, Scott?
Another day in paradise, Jack.
How you feeling today?
I feel adventurous today, dog.
Feel adventurous?
Yeah, man. I've been stacking my bread up a little bit on the side. I'm looking for different ways to invest my funds, finding different vehicles to scale a little bit.
I think that's the common, mentality for a lot of investors out here nowadays, looking for different ways to put their money in things.
I'm trying to be more like them.
I think we got somebody good for you today.
Do we?
Yeah, I think we got somebody good that's along a different investment vehicle, a little risky.
Okay.
Are you willing to take a risk?
I trust you. How about that?
Say less.
All right,
So,
cool.
without further ado, meet Hannah Marie, a dedicated single mom and full-time stock option trader who has mastered the art of financial independence and time freedom. By leveraging her expertise in the stock market, she's created a flexible lifestyle that allows her to spend quality time with her daughter while building wealth from the comfort of her own home. Without further ado, again, ladies and gentlemen, Hannah Marie.
Hey, y'all. Hey, thanks for having me.
Welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks.
How you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I'm
Okay.
feeling good.
You sound a little nervous.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit. You can tell. You can
It's
tell.
all right, first timers, but I want you to be as comfortable as possible. Our audience appreciates authenticity,
Got
and I'm
it.
sure, as amazing as you are, you have a lot to bring to the table. So just walk in that light.
Cool. I'll
Cool.
breathe.
Yeah,
I'll try.
let your shoulders down.
A little exhale. There's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
So to just get going, Hannah, I want to know a little bit more about you, and I'm sure our people would love to know a little bit more about you. So tell us about Hannah Marie.
Yeah.
Okay, so I started in the credit business. I was actually doing credit repair in that industry for I was 18, so about 7 years. And in that, I loved it. I loved helping people. I still love helping people. But it came with a lot with managing employees, managing clients, especially clients that don't have any boundaries. Calling your phone 2, 3 in the morning when you're trying to sleep. And so I started learning stock options when I was introduced with it, and I just ran with it, and I love it.
Cool.
So that's really become my passion. It's become the bread and butter and what I do day to day. And majority of the days, it allows me so much financial freedom to where I can be done with my day by 11 o'clock in the morning. And then I'm just chilling in my
That's
PJs the way I like it.
Nice. Man, that sounds good. That sounds like the
Efficient and
life.
comfortable, right?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
That sounds
man.
like a lifestyle I can get used to.
Kick back a little bit.
That's it.
Watch
Early
a movie.
retirement.
Early retirement. Early.
Yeah.
So tell us, Hannah, where you from?
So I'm born and raised in Atlanta. Well, technically not Atlanta. Technically Gwinnett, but it's close enough.
Shout out Gwinnett.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
Woo woo.
They be trying to play you from being from Gwinnett.
You said what?
They be trying to play you,
You
from
can
being
tell.
from Gwinnett. Yeah,
You
it's
can
a little,
tell.
It's a little lump in your chest.
They
I
get to it in
know.
Gwinnett though.
We got
Yeah.
a couple superstars that are from there, so
Okay.
I'll wear it.
With pride.
That's what's up. A lot of bright folks coming out of Gwinnett. Like yourself.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I wouldn't, those from Fulton County and other places, I wouldn't be, making fun of them too much because they get into that bag.
Yeah, they a little
Believe that. They get into that bag out there in
Mhm.
Gwinnett. So dive in a little bit with us on stock options. I know you said you've gotten into that. That's something that, you've made your financial vehicle for the most part as far as driving you towards financial freedom.
Mhm.
How has that been, like, initially getting into stocks?
Honest, we're being transparent. Honest, I jumped right into it because I was like, I had success in the credit industry. I jumped in full throttle, no chill into stock business, and I got smacked. I got smacked because I came in with ego.
Oh,
So that really brought me to a place where I had to humble myself down and really take time to learn. And I'm glad that I had to go through that because, like with stocks, it's really you against you. It really forces you to better yourself, take a really deep inner look into you, But from there, from getting really heavy into self-development, mindset, psychology, it's allowed me to really excel with trading. Because I always say this, like trading is always like 90% like psychology, mindset, how you approach the market, 10% is your strategy. It's pretty easy to tell whether the market is going up or down. Like especially if you have like indicators, well, the right ones, I'll say. It just gets pretty easy, but with trading, psychology is everything.
Got you.
But yeah.
Okay. I know that this is like the information age of technology, and most people get their information from social media. So with like options trading, where do you find your mediums for information to gear your options?
Well, everybody, what I found, especially when I was starting off in options, I found that everybody has a strategy. And even though it may work for them, it may not work for you.
Got you.
So that's kind of where everything differs. I did get into a couple good groups that I really love, I really appreciate, and I'm still a part of them to this day. And I just kind of took their strategies and kind of molded it into my own, to a way that's easy to read, easy to understand, that makes me feel comfortable entering and exiting my trades.
Got you. So do trends play a factor in options trading at all?
Just what?
Trends like financial or business trends?
Of course,
Yeah.
of course. So typically every single day, majority of days, I'll say at least 3 to 4 days out of the week, there's typically news that comes out at 10 o'clock in the morning. So with that, I won't trade at all. Or if I do, I have a rule right on my thing that if I get into a trade, I got to exit before 10 a.m. But then after that, after the big money enters the market, reacts off of the trend, especially if it's like red folder news, high impact, then I'll just follow that. So I would say definitely yes. Definitely yes.
Okay.
Especially with interest rates and everything going on. Whenever Trump speaks, the market goes crazy.
Yeah, I can see
That's a
that.
fact, though. That's
I can
facts.
see that. Because I actually want to talk a bit about my side of stock investing, because I do a little investing myself.
Okay.
But I want to scale it back a little bit, because I want to talk about just your entry. Like, how did you get into it from a financial standpoint? Like, how much money did it take you to say, you know what, this is the amount that I'm going to go ahead and start this with?
I started learning little by little. I started with like just a little bit. I feel like with trading, one of the biggest misconceptions is that you got to jump in with like a big bag and stuff, where in reality you really don't, depending on especially depending on what you trade.
Gotcha.
Like, I'll give an example. The other week, about 2 weeks ago, I was at Chick-fil-A with my daughter, picked her up from preschool. I took her to a playground. I wanted to finish working. I saw the movement in the market. I was like, you can play on the playground. I'm going to be on my computer. Leave me alone. And I was able to turn like $130 into over 1,700 in 30 minutes. So you really don't need to go into trading. It's not a must that you go into trading with like tens of thousands of dollars. Now, there is a difference between a cash account and a margin account. So if you go in with less money, I would just recommend a cash account. That way you can continue to day trade.
Can you explain to our audience what the difference between a cash and a margin account?
Yeah, of course. So with a margin account, that basically means that you have to go into a market with a minimum of $25,000 in order to day trade. That means that you have to go into the market with that amount in order to enter and exit the market more than 3 times in a rolling 5-day period. If you go over 3 day trades within that period, then it kind of shuts your account down. It makes it so that you have to regain that amount before you're able to put in another position and day trade again. But with a cash account, the funds have to settle, but you can trade continuously day in and day out. So for example, if you were to get into the market with $1,000 and say your first trade, you got it, your first contract was $500. Whether that you were successful in that trade, whether it increased in profit or it went down, you wouldn't be able to trade with that $500. You would only have the $500 balance that you have for the rest of the day to enter and exit trades until the next day when everything settles.
Ooh, I appreciate that. That's a jewel, because
Yeah, it is.
people have like a misconception about, since people who are traders are usually successful, they think that the startup like the overhead is super high.
Yeah. I was one that thought that. That's
me
kind of
too.
the reason why I feared jumping into options for real too, because I'm like, how much do I need to have in here to even start?
And that's a huge initial risk if you think that you gotta have, like you said, 25,000 to start with a margin account.
Yeah.
But you can take the easier route or the less expensive route, which is the cash account, right?
Yeah. Is that correct?
That's very correct.
Okay.
Yeah, and then you can just compound it and continue to grow it into that larger account, and then have more money to play with.
And you're gonna teach us how to do that.
Of
right?
course.
Okay, cool,
Got
cool,
it.
cool, cool.
So
be
make sure y'all tapped in. Yeah, she gonna show us a little something how to do this option thing. So we gonna break it down.
And pads out. It's time.
Get it out. Get it out. So I hear you talking about just getting into the options trading. What are the different components that follow options? Like I've heard, and correct me if I'm wrong, you have calls, you have puts, and is there another one out there, or how many different tiers am I supposed to look at here?
There's a lot that goes into options, especially because it has time decay. So with stock options, there's something called the Greeks, which basically means that, like, as you get into a contract, it's going to expire. Like there's, say you get into a same day contract, it's going to expire 4 p.m. that day.
Mm-hmm.
So as it gets closer to 4 p.m., if you're not drastically, I guess, in the money, the term is called, then you're going to lose your money, even if it's going in your direction. So there's the Greeks, there's spreads. So that's the difference between the ask and the bid price. And then there's the call and the puts that I play, which basically says that call, you're saying that the market is going to go up, and you can choose where you think the market is going to go up to. Now, it doesn't have to hit that number to a T, but as it gets closer to that number that the stock is, that's when you'll see more profit. Or there's puts where it's just vice versa.
Okay, that's solid information, because we going in blind.
Yeah.
Right? Like, we really don't know what's going on. So we happy to have you on the show.
Of course.
And so is that information at 10 a.m., is that something that I need to be paying attention to determine if I'm a set up a call or a put for my option?
I would say majority of the moves, like I would say up to 95% of the moves that I get into a market are off of 10 a.m.
Okay.
Like even if there's not news that comes out at that time, like you get a lot of clear direction at 10 a.m. because then like the manipulation a lot of times already has happened. Now if it's a day like CPI or non-farm payrolls where it's a red folder, high impact news came out at 8:30, then typically you can get a continuation off of that like after when the market opens at 9:30. But I would still be hesitant of profit taking.
Okay.
So you really got to be hands-on with the information you're being given to be effective at options trading.
Yeah, with options, you also like, especially if you're like day trading or scalping, which I do, you really got to be able to manage it. And especially because I like basically only trade the S&P 500. SPX is a killer. SPX could be a killer. I love her so much. I consider that my baby, but sometimes we got a little bit of a toxic relationship. But so you really got to manage it because it can go up so fast. You can be in profit. But if you're like, you're lollygagging, you're busy, whatever, I'm trying to multitask too much, then you can easily go red. And we don't like that. See profit, take profit.
Is that kind of like the mantra of all stock traders? See profit, take profit?
I wouldn't necessarily that. I feel like the mantra of all stock traders should be play the charts, not your heart. I heard that from somebody in my group.
Bar.
Not my bar, but
Say
I'm going to
that
take it.
Let
Say
the
that
people
one
know
more
what you
time.
just said again.
Trade the charts, not your heart.
Okay.
That is a bar.
And help my people understand a little bit about what that means.
So when you're trading stocks, there's going to be fluctuation. It's not going to just majority of the times. It's not just going to go boom up or drastically drop down. It's going to go a little bit up, then some pullbacks, profit taken, hit a level, and then go back up, or vice versa to the downside. So it's going to have some fluctuations, and as it's having those pullbacks, as it's creating those different fluctuations, it's easy for your heart, your emotions to get involved, especially when you're seeing your money fluctuate. Because I mean, I love my money. I love my money.
Yeah.
I love my money on.
That's right.
So, I mean, especially if depending on what you go in with, because say you go into an option contract, you put up 10,000 versus 1,000. 30% drawdown, that's 3,000 versus 300. Not everybody is going to be able to sit through a $3,000 drawdown. Some people are going to be like, my mortgage, what is going on? So it's like, you really got to pay attention and really know, like, risk management, what you can psychologically deal with.
Gotcha. To manage your expectations better, right?
Yes, risk management is huge. I will preach that because that's how I got smacked.
And that's initially, right?
Yeah, I went in. I dropped a couple vans, and I was like, shh.
And that's a perfect segue into my next question that I want to ask is, how do you manage risk? What is a good strategy for yourself, or what is some enlightened tools or information you can give our viewers about how to manage risk within option trading?
So I just look into, like, when I'm looking at a trade, looking at the market, I just look at it for what is being shown on the screen. Like, what is the chart showing me versus what do I want it to do? It's just because you want the market to do something doesn't mean that it's going to necessarily happen. You do not control the market, and that's just a fact. So just going in with, I'll say, a more settled mind, a more realistic mind of, okay, what do I see? What is going on? What is the psychology of what's going on? What's the price action? What's the potential? What's going on with open interest, etc. And then expecting that. And then with that, I'll go into market and say, like, is this an A1 setup? Like, is this clear? Is it hitting all of my requirements? Have it on my laptop as well. Like, is it hitting all my requirements, my checkpoints? If it's an A1 setup, then I will go in a little bit with a little bit more money, in between like 25 up to, I'm not gonna lie, sometimes 50%. Bad risk management, but it pays off a lot of times when I jump into those trades. Versus if I'm like, okay, I see the potential, I see what the market's doing behind the scenes, I really think that it's gonna move, but it's not clear yet. I'll go in with like 5 to 10%.
Got you. So most of our listeners and like people who are in the beginning stages, their biggest challenge is learning how to read the chart. So could you give our listeners any tips about like what to look for when they are reading the chart to better understand how what they see translates into what's happening in the market?
And better yet, before you hit that, because we are on doing numbers, so we would love it for you to give us an example as well. Does that sound good?
It sounds perfect.
All right, I think let's roll with that.
Got you a little whiteboard.
Got the whiteboard. I feel official.
That's right.
Okay, so before we go into that, I'm gonna just chart down what a candlestick looks like.
I hope y'all ready. Bring your pen and pads.
I'm an artist, in case y'all didn't know.
Okay.
Okay.
Young
Let me
Van
say.
Gogh over here. The drag erase.
Oh yeah. Open. Close. Is there another one or no?
Another
Whiteboard.
marker or another board? Which one do you need?
Marker.
Here we go.
Quick.
I got it.
Top width. I'm just gonna say that this is going up.
This is exciting. I'm ready for it.
Because I actually don't know the answer to this.
I have
question.
not.
I'm trying to learn too.
Okay.
You need another marker? You good with what you
I
got?
think I'm good. I
Okay.
think I'm good.
All right.
Just a quick little illustration. Okay, so this is what a regular candlestick looks like. So, and I'm saying this candlestick is going up.
Okay.
So this would be the open. This would be where price opens.
Okay.
This is going to be where price close. In between this, what I tried to shade in with the markers is going to be considered the candle's body.
Gotcha.
And then the wicks, that's going to be this point right here and this point right here. The top wick is going to be how high the candle reached, like how high it got to. And then with that, it dropped down and closed right here.
Gotcha.
Whereas this is going to be the low of the candle, how low the candle got to, and it came back up a little bit.
Got you to back to where it opened at.
Mm-hmm.
I see
Well,
what you're saying.
technically, it could go, if it opens right here, it could go right here, then drop down, and then go right here, and then close right here. It's just all about time frame, everything else.
I got you.
So also take account into time frames.
Gotcha.
There's 1 minute candles, there's 5 minute candles, 15, 4 hours, weekly,
Man, I
yearly,
didn't know that.
etc.
I'm glad you're here because I went threw my little money in and lost everything and not knowing why.
Expectations. I feel
Man,
like you really
lifesaver.
gotta like learn what type of trader you are.
Mhm.
Because there's day traders and scalpers. With scalpers, it's like if it's a riskier play, or if I'm like busy, I got my daughter, I'm trying to multitask more, I just want some quick money,
Mhm.
then I'm gonna be a scalper that day. Whereas I'm not going to sit through any drawbacks, any pullbacks. I see my profit, I'm gonna take my profit like 20, 30%, and then just ride out, chill for the rest of the day. And then with day trading, you're going to be trying to get majority of that move. You're going to be sitting through a little bit more pullbacks, fluctuations, because you're trying to get like the big move. You're trying to get the big bag.
Gotcha.
Swinging is when you hold overnight. So with that, you'll be willing to hold a couple of days. And then there's leaps where it's like you're holding quarters, years, and stuff, going like really long term.
Well, official. I'm getting all the little lingo.
Do you dabble in any of those that you just mentioned there, like the leaps? No, that's not for you.
No, because like I said, SPX, she's a killer. She's a killer. So it's like it can be going one way during market open and all the other stuff. There's a piece of news or whatever, Trump speak for whatever happens around the world for whatever reason, and the market just plummet or go in the opposite direction. Gotcha. And then you're like, dang, I should have just took the profit. So I'd rather, for me and my trading style and what I'm able to mentally handle, I'd rather be able to manage it during the day. Because when the market closes with stock options, you're not able to close your position. Gotcha. So it's like you got to wait till 9:30 in the morning to see what damage or what good happened. And I'm like,
that sounds
I need
stressful.
my sleep. I get grumpy. I need my sleep.
Me too.
That's a quick way to just crash out for real, huh?
So your strategy directly corresponds with your risk tolerance.
Yeah.
Got you.
Yes, definitely.
Okay.
Understood.
And what roles does implied volatility play in your trading decisions?
Implied volatility. That's like, I love trading high volatility. Because it's a quick bag. Right. It really is. I'll give you an example. So the Fed rate decision in, what is it? It was December. That was an amazing Christmas. It was.
In 2024.
Yeah.
Okay. She said I had fun.
I sure did. And December is my birthday month. I had a lot of fun. So there was a Fed rate decision, and basically the market plummeted like 200 points. So for SPX, for SPY, that's crazy, especially if you got in at the top. Like, I was looking at the market and I got in on an extra trade. I overtraded. But it paid off. Like, within like 10 minutes, like I saw a $300 contract go all the way up to like 6,000. So I love implied volatility. You get really big moves, but you got to be careful with managing it. You don't want it to go the other way.
Right. Okay. Now, does, like, what's happening right now? I know Trump is hitting folks with tariffs, and he's got a lot of other things going on with the administration and the government right now. Is that playing in a factor into the stocks trading right now?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. For better or for worse?
I think when he first got into office, a lot of people had really high expectations about what was going on. I think a lot of people jumped in with really big bags, and I think they got hit a little bit. Me being one of them. It comes with the territory. Yeah. And then it's kind of settled now. So now I honestly love it. The price movement has been really, really good. Cool. It's been what I was expecting initially. I think it just had to settle. But I would say the impact on the market, right now the market is down. Okay. But it's overall still in an uptrend. It hasn't flipped trend on the higher time frames quite yet. But right now the market's down. Just looking at what happened last week, it was is
Not
pretty
good.
cause I
So
mean, if
at
you're a
this current
long-term
moment,
investor,
we should not be hopping in right now.
no, you can definitely hop in. I
Okay.
love my puts. I love puts. I prefer puts over calls because, like, puts, it's like you're taking the elevator, the escalator. You're like, you said I can curse. It's like you're damn near like going down like a ski hill, like a slide. It's a lot
free fall.
faster.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot faster.
Yeah.
Well, everybody else is free falling. I'm bagging up, and I
feel
love
you.
it.
You betting against the house.
I'm a day trader. It doesn't affect me.
Right.
And then calls, it's like slow. It's like you're taking stairs. And I'm
Gotcha.
like, my patience. Like, I got stuff to
got
do.
Right.
So how easy is it to withdraw like your winnings from an options trading standpoint?
You just gotta buy and sell it. You buy it and stuff for whatever contract you choose. In my course, I will be going over contract selections and how I get my contracts, especially for cheap, in order to get those higher returns.
Gotcha.
And then you just simply close the position. Now, if you have a cash account, and then you gotta wait till the next day in order to withdraw it. But I mean, once everything settles, you can have it in your bank by like I would say like
That's
what,
pretty
2
solid.
days.
Because regular stop trading, you have to wait for things to clear. You got to wait 5 to 7 business
No,
days.
I believe with my brokerage, you just gotta put it in that you want to do a withdrawal before 5:30, 5:30 Eastern,
Gotcha.
and then it'll hit the next morning.
So basically schedule it.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
you can pre-schedule it as well, but I mean, if just something comes up, you just put in that you want to do a quick transfer to your bank account by 5:30 Eastern. It'll be there by 2 a.m. the next day. So
Cool.
I think it's pretty easy.
Well, that's encouraging, right?
It is, because I need that money now.
You need access.
JG Wentworth.
I
need my money.
I need it.
No free promo. Cut that out. We're going to edit that part out.
No free promo. But that was
JG,
good.
hit us up if you want us to put that back in the episode.
But I'm looking here because I'm super interested. I got to develop more vehicles to increase my bag. And I know I'm confused a little bit by this, but I do need you to help me out with this one here.
What's up?
So I'm looking at something right now as I'm looking at a covered call. So it has $3.50 or $3.5 on the left side where it says break even. And then on the right, it's in red. It says $1.51. So what am I doing at this point? Like, how many contracts am I buying? Is it just one contract?
Sure.
Yeah, let me show you an example here.
Okay. This one right here?
Yeah.
Okay. So I do trade a little bit different. So, but with this, it's basically same. Like once the stock reaches $3.50, that's when you break even. You didn't gain, you didn't lose. If it gets $4, then you get 50% profit, whatever.
Okay.
And then $3, that's when it says break even. That's when you would lose a little bit of money.
Okay.
So it's just basically telling you basically a little bit about how much you could win or lose in advance. But I mainly just do the calls and the puts. I can show you.
Okay, yeah. Now with a contract, is it like 100 shares per contract? Like 50 shares?
Yeah, so each option contract represents 100 shares.
Okay,
and then with what you were asking, like how many contracts you do, you can choose. You can get one contract, you can get 5, you can get 100. It's all about what you choose to put in.
Okay. And then you multiply, so how much you're putting up. Like you're not, I don't want anybody to think like, oh yeah, it's only $6.50 to get this contract.
Nah, it's by 100. So you see $6.50, it represents $650.
There we go.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Because it's representative of 100 shares.
Okay.
Like
Perfect.
percentage.
Perfect. Yeah.
Cool.
So just
Yeah.
making sure that y'all aware of that. Don't think it's $6.50 and you about to strike crazy. You really do got to have a little something in that
I got
account.
this fin ball. I'm finna go options trade. Facts.
I'm about to come up on $5. Nah, it ain't that.
Nah, cool.
So, okay, cool. So you said you had an example to show us as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I got to make sure my data's not showing.
Yeah. Keep all that secure.
Make sure you peek over there once or twice, though.
I got this on lock and key. Not playing with me.
See if we can find out the password.
Oh, snap. Let me see. Actually, my account number isn't. I don't want that part in it. Is there a way to edit?
With the footage?
Yeah.
For sure.
Okay, cool. Like Sorry, y'all. Y'all can edit
And
this
guys,
part out,
if you
right?
and guys, if you like what you hear, please make sure you tap in with Hannah Marie. We have her here today. If you're interested in stock options, this is the lady that can help you get over that hump.
Make sure y'all tap into a course as well. Get the knowledge before you jump out there on options trading.
For sure.
Get you some tutelage under your belt.
Okay, quick question. I'm sorry, y'all.
No, you good.
How can I show this? Like, would we be able to edit it without it showing my account number and all that, or how?
Right now, you're not
Okay, so should we just scratch that?
what we can probably do is if you put something together, then we could
Add it to the visual.
Okay,
And
okay,
then that way you could we could
Okay,
crop out your account number.
okay,
yeah,
Yeah.
we can create something that has to be edited.
Mhm.
okay. So I'll just take a picture of the options chain and just send it to y'all.
Cool.
Okay, cool. So y'all still
you
want me
could
to
just
speak
explain
about
it,
the
yeah.
options
Mhm.
chain? Okay. So with the options chain, it has one side. On the left side, it has it for calls. In the middle, it's going to show you the date that it's for, the date that it expires. And then it also is going to show you the price that you're going to be getting into market. And then on that right side, it's going to have puts. So market going down.
Mhm.
So with the option chain, where it's highlighted on Charles Schwab, it's purple. That's going to be the stuff that's in the money.
Gotcha.
So it's already hit that point. It's already hit that number. So for example, real time, the S&P 500 is currently at $6,028.83. We'll just say $6,028.
Mhm.
So 6,025 for calls, that would be in the money.
Mhm.
You would be able to get in, like you could say that you want to get in, saying that the market is going to go to 6,030, or you can go a little bit further down the options chain to get something a little bit further out the money. And with that, that's when you can really take into account like psychological levels. That's going to be like 6,050, 6,000, 6,100, and stuff like that.
Okay.
Another thing that I really look into with the options chain is going to be open interest. That shows you the amount of people or the amount of contracts that are open for that. So in real time, for 6,050, that contract, 3,852 people are currently in those contracts versus in like right under the money there's only 675 people in those contracts. So that's kind of showing you a little bit of what the buyers in the market are expecting market to get to. And then I'm actually seeing that like even the strikes for 6,060 and stuff that goes even higher. There's almost 5,000 people in those contracts. So you're able to kind of see and judge like where the market is. And with that, like I'll give this example right now. To get into a contract for 6,060, it's only $75, $75 to $80. So you don't need a huge bag. Now, if you're getting in with $75, $80, you can obviously get more contracts. Whereas if you were to get something right at the money, or it would be $1,160.
Okay.
Still manageable.
Yeah, it's still manageable. And another reason why I like trading out the money is because you get higher returns. So say it does hit that number, that's like over 1,000% return within a day's time. And it happens just because the S&P 500 is so volatile.
Gotcha.
And I would say, like, with this being a financial literacy podcast, definitely make sure that you do your studying, your research.
For sure.
You know, don't feel like you jumping off the porch and you can immediately make this livable income. Because of how volatile and unpredictable it is, if you do win, make sure you got another situation set up where you putting that money into, or you just got disposable income to play with, whichever, but have a strategy going in.
Please.
For sure.
If you don't, you want to plug your course?
Yeah, I can definitely plug the course. I'll have the link below.
Perfect. So, Hannah, with this being Women's History Month, we definitely just want to get, what does Women's History Month mean to you? How have you, incorporated that in your everyday, especially being a mom? What inspires you to continue to keep going, and then also pass this down to your little one?
So what Women's History means to me, it just basically means excellence. It just means continue to push the pen and really strive for more. I think women are capable of some amazing things. We've already done a lot, and there's definitely more to come. Especially you mentioned like with raising. I feel like I really do believe that children, they take like examples. So they look at you and then kind of shapes who they are. So I'm hoping my daughter looks at me and she's really seeing the possibilities of what is really out there for her classmates, and women to come, and she continues to push the pen as well.
Absolutely.
That's perfect. Scott, you got anything else, brother?
What women's history means to me, I think without women's history, you wouldn't have much of a men's history. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's true.
I agree that when you're looking at a predecessor, when you're trying to strive and reach for greatness, you have to have a resource to pull from. And men's only resource is the woman, especially in our community. You know what I'm saying?
I do.
That's where we get all our game from. That's where we get all our wisdom from.
Yep.
That's how we learn how to dress.
Yep.
Because we dress to impress them
Mm-hmm.
more so than not. Well, that's hopefully.
Right.
That's how we do it.
Right.
But, I just think most of our inspiration comes from women, and more largely the Black women. So
Got you. And give us, Hannah, one woman that inspires you today to continue to do what you do, and 2 books that you would recommend our audience to go and read.
Okay, one woman that inspires me today, I would really say my mom.
Okay.
that's
My mom.
That's good. Shout out to mom.
She's a really hard worker.
Okay.
She's a really hard worker, and I feel like she really shaped, I guess, me to be like that. Just looking at her, she's a 9 to 5, so I'm just doing it in another avenue, which is perfectly fine. But yeah, really my mom. Really my mom. And 2 books. I love stoicism. I love self-development. So anything Ryan Holiday. Discipline is Destiny, I think, is one of his books that I read. I really like that one. And then I know it's named a lot, but Atomic Habits.
Okay.
Yeah.
I haven't heard of that one.
Really?
I haven't.
Really?
So I got to add that to my list.
Yeah. Atomic
Habits
Habits.
is good, man.
Yeah, you know about it. And then anything Ryan Holiday.
Okay.
He's my favorite for
I
stoicism.
gotta brush up on Ryan Holiday. I'm not hip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there you go, guys. And then lastly, just plug our people in where they can find you, how they can get in touch with you. And yeah, just throw them your information.
So you can reach out to me on Instagram. My Instagram is hannahmarie.ay. That's HANNAHMARIE.AY on Instagram. And then I'm going to have a link in my bio, and you can join the waitlist for the course in order to get these plays.
All right.
Good work.
So Hannah, I hope you know that you're not going anywhere, because we're going to have you on again with doing numbers here. I think it'd be fitting to have you as our stock options correspondent.
I love to.
So I'm looking forward to having you on. I'm looking forward for our audience to continue to gain more information regarding stock options and how they can, get themselves affluent when it comes to stock options. So I'm excited.
I
think the next time we have you on, I should probably have me a little call put in or something like that.
That's a fact.
We can work on it.
Let's do it.
Thank you
All
for
right,
coming
guys.
to
Make
the
sure
show.
y'all like, share, subscribe at Doing Numbers Podcast on Instagram, TikTok. Catch us every Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on YouTube. We appreciate y'all for tapping in. Happy Women's History Month. Peace out.